Last of Us. Let's talk about it. Now we're gonna deal into some spoilers, so if you haven't seen the episode, go watch it. Like it's really good. And if you haven't seen the first one, go watch that too. Seriously, you do not want to miss on this. So, the episode starts off with the Jakarta situation. So we go see how the virus actually started, which is something that I always wondered when I played the game. You know, usually zombie games tell you like evil scientists did this and did that, and I love that. I mean, that's why I'm a huge fan of Resident Evil. But we never got that with Last of Us, and I never minded. I was just always just curious. And we finally get our answer to that, and it's terrifying. So in this episode, we get to see the city. That city portion where you have Joel, Tess, and Ellie walking through Boston. And that's one of my favorite parts of the game because it really introduces you to the danger the infected are. In this episode, we see that the infected kind of have like a hive mind because of the fungus. Because a fungus in the real life is kind of like one of the biggest organisms because they kind of communicate, kind of like a web, like an internet, right? There's a scene where one of the infected feels pain and like it getting killed by Joel, and it alerts infected just a mile away, and now you have a whole horde of infected coming to you. I thought that was terrifying because if you don't watch your step, you could alert every single infected around you. I think that's more scary, and I hope they keep capitalizing on it the way they did.
We gathered together a small army of people to work on how to get the clickers right. And getting the clickers right means that people who have played the game will go,
they nailed the clickers. The clickers are one of the most terrifying monsters in the game, and they nailed them. And the makeup, it looks so real. The mannerisms, it was so good. What I really love about Last of Us is they're not showing a lot of monsters in your face. It's more of waiting when they're gonna come. They're gonna come now, they're gonna come later. It's so unpredictable, and that makes the horror elements of the show elevate to an elite level. Because when you finally get the reveal of the clickers, you know, first you see little silhouettes, you hear the you hear that, and you're just waiting for that moment someone will make a noise. Now, the big moment of the episode ends with Tess's death. But yeah, that moment with Tess is huge, and I love the change they did. It made it even more dramatic and more terrifying, because that scene with Tess and the infected, the runner, that was disgusting. That was such a heartbreaking moment for her. Seeing Tess go out like that. She took out a whole horde with her. It wasn't just some random stupid soldier. This was like a savage horde of runners and possibly clickers there too. And that just made her sacrifice even more impactful. And that is why I just love this show so much so far. In these 2 episodes, that was a huge change. That was a huge risk they took. Because that Fedra scene is still very awesome. It's still very epic, very heartbreaking. And they somehow changed that significantly. And it still works. Now, in my opinion, I don't really have a favorite, but I'll take both. It's one of those scenarios where I'm like, it's done well in both. Now, I can't wait to continue seeing Last of Us. Next episode will come out next Sunday. And, if you haven't caught up yet, go do so now. You do not want to miss on watching this show. Until next time.